Good evening, everyone. So, my name is Oana Brooks, and I am a refugee. I'm going to pause there for a minute because I don't know that many of you in this room would have expected me to say that, but that's my story. I'm Oana Brooks, and I'm a refugee. So I'm originally from Romania, and when I say that, people say, "Did you say Armenia? Like the Kardashians?" No, I didn't. And by the way, they were born here. Um, But that's not the only thing I ever hear. Sometimes, besides the Kardashians, I get asked about vampires. That will be, in fact, the next slide. There you go. Bram Stoker had actually never set foot in Romania, and yet most people know Romania and affiliated with Transylvania and vampires and blood. And that's lovely, but that's not who I am either. So clearly, I must be a gypsy. No, that's not me either. Can't tell you your fortune. Have no idea what's happening to you this evening. I'm not the most pleasant of people, so if you keep asking me about your fortune, it may not be good for you. So typically, I also get asked, Oana, O-A-N-A, why would your parents name you that? What does that mean? How do you pronounce that in your country? I usually say, I don't know, Sally. How do you pronounce Sally in your country? So in addition to that, I usually do this. I think that speaks for itself as our lovely First Lady, former First Lady, though it pains me to say it. That's usually what I do when people ask me these questions. But back to the story at hand, I am a refugee. So a refugee is a person who's been displaced from their homeland, a person who didn't leave voluntarily, and a person who may not be able to go back because of religious persecution, political persecution, whatever it may be. And in my case, you're wondering how I became a refugee. Well, there's a dictator and communism. Now, I'm sure that there may be more suitable photos to show you of the dictator and his wife. However, I chose these ones of the dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu, and his wife. He was the secretary of the Communist Party in Romania, not that kind of secretary, but the kind where your face is on a stamp and you can tell people that they can't leave the country, that they can't talk about you, that they can't talk about your family. And in fact, what you're going to do is you're going to put your family in positions of power. They don't have to be experienced, by the way. In fact, you're going to already announce that your son is going to be the successor to you. You're going to tell the media that they can't talk about you. Does this sound familiar a little bit, people? Sorry if I'm scaring you. But another thing that I remember is being a child and waiting in line for food. And waiting in line for food with the card that is on what would be your left, and being told that the food was for my benefit or lack thereof because it was going to keep me healthy. In any case, at the very least, the dictator built a palace for the people. I will tell you, I've never stepped foot in it. But it was for the people, is what I'm told. So that was me in 4th grade, and the lovely outfit I'm wearing isn't something I decided to wear, although I would say I'm wearing the only white tights. So let's just pause there. But that's the outfit that a good, small communist child would wear. My parents left Romania in 1987, not voluntarily. They swam across the Danube River. It was illegal. It was a tough journey, and it was a journey my father never survived. We never found him. We never recovered his body. My mother made it to the UN refugee camp in Yugoslavia. My brother and I stayed with our grandparents. It was my 9th birthday when that happened, so happy birthday to me. But in any case, what I've learned from all of this, aside from the lovely fashion of photos that I've brought here to show you, in some ways it feels like somebody else's life. But in some ways, it's actually mirroring what's going on currently today. And I know that sounds strange, but it's actually what's made me want to talk about this. So this is my mom's admittance to the United States. And she was allowed to come to the United States from the UN refugee camp because she was deemed of special interest of a humanitarian nature to the United States. And it was because of the Attorney General at the time of the United States that she was admitted in. Several years later, she was able to bring my brother and me to the United States for the same reason. And so I just would ask you to think about that with our current Attorney General. And I would just say that I'm also an attorney. And so some of this is just mirrors itself. So we became citizens in 1996. Thank God, because perhaps I might be asked to leave now. No, I'm kidding, everyone. But But really, the story isn't about that. The story really is about humanity. It's about the fact that even though I'm standing here and telling you I'm a refugee, I'm also standing here and telling you that I'm an American citizen. I'm a person who went to college and put herself through law school, worked at night and bartended, and it's a story of survival and triumph, and I think embracing life. So thank you for letting me tell it to you.